All right, so on multiple occasions in the past, I have talked about my fandom as a Raider fan in the East Bay because obviously the Raiders don't play here anymore, and a lot of people have changed their allegiance. They had either don't like the Raiders anymore because of the move, or they don't like football anymore. And I think the Raiders, however, are such a special team in the sense that they have fans in all 50 states. The Raiders have fans, in every corner of the woods and including the East Bay. They still do, but there are people that switch their fandom because of the move, and rightfully so. I mean, I don't blame people, but I want people to realize how the Raiders function and why switching from the Raiders to a different team or just no team at all is not necessarily rational. Because here's why. For me, I was definitely considering switching from the Raiders to a different team when they moved to Las Vegas. Now, then I realized, I stepped back and I had this realization that I'm not rooting for the ownership. And I'm also not rooting really specifically for Las Vegas. I am rooting for the Raiders. I'm rooting for the silver helmets and the black jerseys and the players I love and adore that played in Oakland, right? And I also am rooting for the legacy guys, Hall of Famers like Ken Stabler and, all these players that played in Oakland, Al Davis's legacy. I'm not rooting for Mark Davis and his entourage, his executives in Vegas. I'm rooting for the Raiders themselves. And you might be saying, well, why do you even like the Raiders in the first place if you don't care where they are? I do care where they are. I hate the fact that they're in Las Vegas, but it's not enough to throw away all of that history in Oakland and all of the legacy that they had here to switch. And people say, I hate the Raiders because they moved, and that's a very valid point. But I have to say, is it rational? Because when you're rooting for the Raiders, and this goes for LA Raider fans, East Bay, Oakland, anywhere really, but more specifically where the Raiders used to play, you're rooting for the team that had a legacy in that city. And even LA fans, I mean, the Raiders weren't in LA quite as much as they were in Oakland, but they still had a Super Bowl there. And I think the thing with the Raiders is no matter where they play, they're still going to be Oakland's team. You think of Oakland and football, you put those two words together, the first thing anyone thinks of is the Raiders. You don't think of the Niners when you think of Oakland football. That's the way it is. I mean, no matter where they play, the Raiders belong to the Bay. That's my little motto. And I think, it's definitely rational if you changed, but it also isn't in the same sense because, I mean, for me, I had a realization that this team, I'm not rooting for Mark Davis. For example, you can love iPhones. You can absolutely love to use iPhones, but you might not like the CEO of Apple for whatever reason. It's the same thing with the Raiders. You might love Derek Carr and all the players and these guys, watching them play on the field, and the aesthetic of the silver helmets and the black jerseys and the autumn wind and all of this, the black hole, just win, baby, commitment to excellence, the brand of the Raiders, the Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, LA Raiders, whatever. But you might not like Mark Davis, and that's how I am. And I don't even think Las Vegas Raiders fans like Mark Davis because he's not a likable guy. He never will be. And it's similar to the A's situation in the sense that when I root for the A's, I love the A's. I root for the A's team. I do not root for John Fisher because I absolutely despise of his policies, of his cheap antics, his bad and greedy personality. And so I think if you're a person who's on the fence, if you're a person who's a little bit conflicted, maybe thinking, well, I wish I liked the Raiders still because I'm an Oakland fan and I see a lot of Oakland fans, such as me, rooting for them and I'm jealous, then maybe step back and think, I do not have to root for Las Vegas. I don't have to buy Las Vegas merch. I don't have to root for Mark Davis, but I can still root for the players that win my team some games, root for the legacy of Ken Stabler and Fred Biletnikoff and Dave Casper and Lyle Alzado and all these Hall of Famers, Jack Tatum. I can go on and on, but still have loyalty to the Raiders. So think about that. Maybe let me know your thoughts. If you're a Raider fan or a former Raider fan that doesn't like him anymore because of the move, or if you're just someone that absolutely doesn't like them at all and hates the fact that they moved, which I do too. I hate the fact that they moved, but it's taking a little bit to get used to. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys later. Go Raiders.